Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LeTip Live. LeTip is an organization of like-minded individuals brought together to help each other's businesses grow and flourish. And today we have a special treat for you. That's right, our featured member, Coach Joy, is here to give you guys tips, tricks, and share stories of success. Today we're going to be going over networking and some tips for networking. So without any further ado, the tips from Coach Joy. Welcome, Coach Joy.
Hi.
How we doing, Coach?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. I know you have some stuff lined up here to help all our members. So it's great that you're taking some time for that. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be talking about some networking stuff. I do want to remind everyone at home that if you have a question, comment, or concern, please put it in the comments section and we can answer it live. But today is all about you guys and helping you guys in networking.
Well, today I want to share with you the art of networking. You know, it's the art of finesse and diplomacy and grace and how we connect with each other. And sometimes we are put into a situation and we just jump in. And unless you're truly prepared and aware of the do's and the don'ts, you can make some ugly mistakes that are, not accepted. You won't have a good reputation. It won't help you in getting the kind of referrals you want, making the kind of connections that you want with your chapter members. And this applies to any organization, anytime you're with a group of people. So I have what I call my 7 habits of successful networkers. And so these are things that I encourage members to take into consideration. So number 1 is you want to know what network etiquette is. Network etiquette is like a simple one is you don't give your business card unless they ask for it. You don't just start dealing them out like a deck of cards. You wait until they ask if you have a card and then you present it. Also, it's the way that you present the business card. You don't just hand it to them like it doesn't mean anything. You want to hand it to them like it's a prize piece, that they're lucky to even get your business card. So everything is important in the way that you connect and interact and in your presentation. The next one is before you even go to the meeting, what's your strategy? We can take groups of people and we can divide them kind of into 2 different groups. Some of us, I fall into this group. I'm an extrovert. I love everybody. I want to meet everybody. If there's, I want to meet everybody that's in the room. However, there's a larger group and they're not like me and they're more introverts. They're kind of cautious and careful. They want to check everybody out. They want to make sure that, that it's safe for them to even approach somebody. And so for them, it can be a painful experience when they have to show up at a networking meeting. Maybe they were told by their employer, like, I want you to go to this meeting, and they're just dreading it. So I say to those folks, have a strategy. So your strategy might be, I'm going to make 3 connections. I'm going to learn about 3 different 3 people done the meeting, or my time is social networking. I'm going to spend a half an hour and then I can leave. So it's always good to have a strategy. You want to know why you're attending it, why you're going to this meeting in the first place. And then you want to know, what do you want to accomplish? What is your purpose for even being there? Now, if you go into any meeting, I don't care what it is, and you go in with the attitude that I'm going to get as much as I can. I'm going to collect business cards. I'm going to, spam these people to death. I'm going to send mass mailers out. That's dreadful. People will block you. You'll have a terrible reputation. So you don't want to do that. You want to begin the process of building relationships. You also want to know, what is the venue? Now, if we're going to a LeTip meeting, we're already familiar. We know with the location. We know the logistics of the location, where we have to park, where the restrooms are. We know that. But if you're going to a place where you were not familiar, can I say, take the time, do Google's Maps, whatever you got to do, to figure out, where is this place? Where do I have to park? How far do I have to walk? What kind of a place is it? How do I need to dress? How do I need to show up? Okay. So you want to be prepared. You want to know the group. So if it's a LeTip group, we already familiar with LeTip. There are peeps, right? But if we're off out networking into a different group, a chamber meeting, or we've been invited to another networking group, we want to know who the people are. What are they about? Learn as much as we possibly can. And then you want to learn the art of mastering the conversation. How do you begin a conversation with a total stranger? So what works for me, and I'm a coach, is to be curious, to let that childlike curiosity come up and be curious about the person that's in front of you, that you're engaged with, that you're meeting. You want to ask them every kind of question you can think of. How did they get into the job that they're in? How long have they been in it? What's their ideal client? So that you can figure out how you can support this person that's standing in front of you. And gosh, when you're not doing what you do, for your career or for your business, what do you like to do? It might be something like, I'm new to Las Vegas. So where do you go with your family? Do you have a favorite place? Do you have a favorite restaurant? Get engaged, get that conversation going. Now, I guarantee you, if you will practice asking questions with curiosity in a friendly way, not giving the inquisition here, you're engaging. What'll happen is the time will go by and they'll say, oh my gosh, I haven't learned anything about you. Oh, well, let's schedule another time to meet up. How can we? I would love to get to know you better too. Let's go have coffee, or let's go have, meet up after work. When you meet someone, the greatest gift that you can give them is to make that other person feel that they're seen, they're heard, and they're valued. So if you're engaged and you're asking questions, you're figuring out how you can support this person. If you go in with that kind of mindset, I'm going to be listening for clues on how I can support and help this person, you become known as the gift giver. And I promise you, it gets returned to you quicker than you think. Then you always want to make sure you follow through. If you say you're going to call them back, call them back. And you want to keep your promises. If you say that you have a recommendation for them, or a mechanic that can help them with their car because that came up in a conversation, you want to make sure that you keep your word and you follow up and get that name of that mechanic to them. You want to have the reputation that you do what you say you're going to do. And then the last one, the seventh one, is practicing good manners. That means that we don't gossip. We don't allow it in the conversation. We're not interested in the negative. We're not interested in putting anybody down. We listen to learn and to be helpful, but we never go sideways. That we don't tolerate that. What will help you become the consummate networker, to be, what I call the connector, and you want to get that label on yourself, that go see her, go see him. He's a wonderful connector. He knows everybody in this town. He can help you. She can help you. That's a great reputation to have. And what will support you on this is to learn as much as you can about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. There's so much information on a YouTube video. I highly recommend. There's some cute cartoon type of presentations that are fun, and they're easy to understand, and you grasp the bottom line of what is emotional intelligence. Bottom line, it means you're comfortable in your own skin. You know who you are. You like yourself. You know your value. You know your worth. You know your business. You know your product. You know your services. So you're okay with who you are. You're not easily swayed or hooked by the chaos or the confusion or the upheaval that can sometimes come in and enter our space. Okay, we don't get hooked into gossip. We stay calm, steady in the middle of the storm. And we've also become learners of human behavior. We understand, if you're in LeTip, you have this wonderful tool called Bank. And if you study that, you can take a look at a group of people and you know that some people are very action oriented. They're very performance oriented. So if you know that kind of a person is standing in front of you, then you want to be on it. You want to be fast clipped. You want to be talking more business than you are talking social. You understand the person that is in front of you. And so you become like a chameleon and you become like them. You do a lot of rapport and mirroring. We know that there's another group of people that are very analytical. They're just the opposite. They're slow, they're cautious, they're careful, they're deliberate, they're listening, they're a little skeptical. You have to win them over. You can't be all fast razzmatazz in front of those folks. You got to slow down your pace. Again, curiosity has to be done in a very charming way. Otherwise, you might come across as intrusive or too nosy. Remember, these are the cautious people. There's another group that are caring, the nurturers of our group. You know who those people are. They love helping us. It's wonderful to have them with us. And they are recognized by our expressions on our face. So if we say, oh my gosh, I don't know what I would do without you. You are such a great membership chair. Oh my gosh, how you keep track of all the tips is amazing. You're just doing such an excellent job. If they're a supporter, you're filling them up because that's what they need, is they need that acknowledgement that they're doing a good job. That's how they feel good about themselves. There's another group that I call the social butterflies. They're kind of like a morph of everybody. And they can go to each group, and they make the greatest salespeople. They're friendly, they're open, they're fun to be with. They like fun. Okay, so when you're talking and engaging to those people, you want to have more fun. And if you're working on enrolling somebody, sponsoring somebody into LeTip, you want to talk about how fun and engaging, the LeTip is. You have this opportunity to get up and speak and talk about yourself. That's what they want to hear. And then, in bank, we have knowledge, the people that are just hungry for information. So there you can ask the questions and let them talk. Let them talk about what they know, what's important to them. What are they studying now? What do I need to know? How can you help me? What do I need to know? You're so up on all the techie stuff. What do I need to know? What's the current trends? Emotional intelligence is such a vital, important tool for us to engage and create relationships with other people. So if you're not up on it, there's tons of material on YouTube. You can watch those videos, and you'll be up to snuff in no time. You want to network with class. You want to come in and be classy, polished, prepared, and most of all, engaging. You want to be approachable. You want to walk in and be the person that when they stand in front of you, you turn to greet them and you give them 100% attention. That's like there's nobody else in the room but that person in front of you. And I know you've been treated that way. You've gone to a meeting where somebody was introduced to you and all of a sudden they just locked in on you and it made you feel like you were like, gosh, the most important person in the room. That's how you want to treat everyone that you come in contact. You want to make those people feel that they're seen and they're heard and they're valued. I say there's the ABCs of relationships. So the first one is ABC, awareness. Mirroring, getting to know that person, the personality, behavioral type, getting to know what their interests are. That's how you network. Okay, so number one is awareness. Number two is benevolence. I love that word, benevolence. It means also reciprocity. It means I'm going to give you, I'm going to give to you, I'm going to support you, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you because I know that there's a universal law that givers gain, that whatever it's going to come back to me. I know that. I have no doubt about that. So I'm always on the lookout on how can I help and support someone else. And then we have this thing called commonality, ABC, commonality. We want to do business with people we know, like, and trust. So the art of networking is asking those questions, being curious, and looking for the connection. What's the common connection? Maybe you both share an interest of a hobby. Maybe you both are runners. Maybe you both like to go for sushi. Maybe you have, a favorite sport, whatever it is. land in, maybe your family, maybe there's your hikers, maybe you do picnics, whatever it is, find the connection, the commonality, so that when you see each other, you can talk about something that you're both familiar with. You can share that. That's how you kind of cement a relationship. So when you go to a networking event, let's say you're going to a white badge mixer, you're going to maybe your quarterly mixer, maybe you're visiting another chapter. Okay, before you arrive, you want to set the intention. Why am I going there? I'm going to meet everybody that I can meet, or I'm going to meet 3 people. I'm going to learn as much as I can. I'm going to make 3 new friends. I'm going to do my best to do cross introductions. What's a cross introduction? A cross introduction is I meet somebody, but in my listening, I've connected to them and I go, oh my gosh, you just mentioned that you're interested, that you moved here and that you have a family and you haven't done a will. We were talking about preparing for the future. I want to introduce you to our trust attorney. That's what he does. Cross connections. How can you connect the person that you're talking to other people that would support that person? And then you want to be curious, set your intention. I want to be curious. I want to make 3 new friends and I want to learn as much as I can about them. And then I always say, give a gift. Always set the intention that I'm going to be the gift giver. Out of the conversation that I'm having with this person that's a total stranger to me, I just met them, somehow I'm going to get something from them. I'm going to listen. I'm going to hear on what can I do? What can I say? How can I show, number one, that I see and I hear and I appreciate them. Okay, I value them and I want to be their friend and I want to be their supporter. So I'm looking for the clues that will help me do that. That's the art of networking. It's being aware, being caring, getting as much information as you can from the person in front of you, not gushing about your own self and your own business. We don't want to do that. Not initially. We want to put the spotlight on the person that's in front of us. Maybe you've known people who are the Me Too. You have a conversation and the person that you've met, they say, oh my gosh, I love football. I was watching that game, with the 49ers and the Eagles. You go, oh yeah, me too. And this is what I saw. And this is how I felt. Sometimes we want to hold back on that, because as soon as we say the me too comment, what we're doing is we're taking the spotlight and we're taking it off of the person in front of us and we're putting it back on us. I say, oh, so you like football too? Okay. So keep that person talking. Keep the spotlight on them. That's one of the best gifts you can give another person. Again, it goes back to being seen, heard, and valued. So those are my networking tips.
Those are some great tips. I do want to remind everybody that we are live. So if you have a question, comment, concern, please put them in the comments section. We can answer them live. These are some great tips. One that resonated is how you can give. And there's a great book. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it, called The Go Giver.
Absolutely.
The Go Giver. Yes. And a lot of things you were saying kind of resonated with that in that book, because he's always looking how to make connections and how to be a giver, because if you go around, the law of reciprocity, people are gonna, look, how can I give back to that person who helped me so much? Awesome stuff. Like I said, again, guys, if you want to ask a question, please put in the comment section. Joy, are there any ones that you want to double back on or that are really important to you?
There's a gentleman by the name of Bob Tiede, and he is the master of asking questions. I subscribe to his newsletter, and I'm always amazed with the questions that he comes up. And he has for having an engaging conversation with your children or your grandchildren. What are these off the wall questions that you could ask a child, as an example? And then he also has so many that have to do with business, how we can be more engaging. So I think for some people, especially those out there that are new to networking, they're kind of shy and maybe introverted, are Gen Zers, they're so used to working on a cell phone and looking down and not making that connection. They don't know how to break the ice, if you will. I would Google icebreakers. I would Google open-ended questions. so that you can learn some tips and tricks on how to ask questions without being intrusive, fun questions. And like I will say, instead of going in like, well, what kind of business are you in? Okay. I say, okay, it's so wonderful to meet you, Doug. What's the most important thing I should know about you? It will throw people to go like, gee. And then all of a sudden, they become engaged and they start opening up a conversation. So just learn some icebreakers, learn some openings. You know, what brought you to wherever you are? Who introduced you, to LeTip, or whatever it is. Ask some questions to get the ball rolling, and I think that can often be very difficult for some of our newer people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like anything else. It's like a muscle, right? So, you might be nervous public speaking. You might be nervous starting these conversations. So you're not going to be a pro at it right off the bat, but the more you do it, just like anything else, like a muscle, it'll get stronger and stronger. So don't take these tips, try them out one time and be discouraged. These are things you need to work on a consistent basis. It's not going to happen overnight. So we understand, like, this is a skill. So definitely take these tips and put them to good use over and over again. Use them when you go to Starbucks, use them when you're going to the grocery store, and build rapport and work that muscle.
I think sometimes people that are new to networking, especially those that are shy, people maybe that are questioning their self-worth and their self-esteem. Okay. They're so afraid that they're going to look foolish. And so the focus then is, what is that other person going to think of me? I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to be judged. When you are grounded in your emotional intelligence and you know who you are and you like who you are, you become what I call fearless. You're the master of yourself. You're fearless. You know that you can't prevent people from talking about you, because that's what people do. We talk about people. That's what we do. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we can't control how they're going to judge us. Some will like us, some may not like us, whatever. We're going to do our very best. Hopefully that we'll win friends, over. However, we know we don't have that control. What we can control is our behaviors. How are we showing up? Am I being the best version of myself that I can be? If I walked into a room and I saw me, would I want to go over there and say, hey, Joy, I heard about you. I want to meet you. Okay. Who are you? What do you have to offer? And so when you look at it that way, instead of like, I'm going to be judged, I'm going to look stupid. Oh my gosh, what are they going to think? We don't care about that. What we care about is, I want to meet people. Oh, and the other intention I would say to have too is, when you're going to a networking event, or when you're going anywhere, I don't care where it is. If you have the mindset that I am going to have a blast today, I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know who I'm going to meet, but I can guarantee I am going to have a fun time today. And I always do. If I go and say, oh my God, I have more things that I need to do, and I hope the meeting goes well, and I can get out of here, call it time, and okay, then I'm going to have a really rough time, and it's not going to go well, and everything's going to get screwed up. And because I just planted that seed, that's my projection. So we have so much power in our thoughts. What are we thinking? And so if I set out and say, okay, I'm going to have a great time today. Woohoo. It's LeTip time. Great. I have a wonderful group of people that I'm going to go and be with and support. And I'm going to be able to help somebody today, and somebody's going to help me, and it's going to be a great day. We set your mind to that. That's what will happen. Setting your intention that you're going to meet someone, setting your intention you're going to help someone. You're going to be that gift giver. Then it will work with you, for you. And it will be a fun experience, not something that you're going to dread. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to go to one of those things again. No. We'll look forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not going to be just one time, one thing. You're not like, people will, well, when I really need to, I'll go reach out and talk to that one person. Well, guess what? You're socially awkward. You haven't done it before. So do your warm-ups, get your layup lines in, get the practice in. So when that one time, that one person that you could really change your business is there, you're sharp like a tack, and you're ready to go because you've put in
Right.
the work and having these conversations and going to networking events and going to LeTip groups. So you built up that confidence. So when it matters, not the football is doing the Super Bowl soon, right? So like those quarterbacks didn't pick up the ball yesterday. They've been putting their whole life into it, and now they're on
Right.
the biggest stage. So it's just like
I,
that, just like a sport.
I think another tip that I would say too is two things. The first one is when you have spent the time to be engaged with somebody and you've really put the spotlight on the other person, you've learned as much as you can, as quickly as you can, write down some notes to yourself. Have a little notebook with you or whatever you got to do. Just write down some things about that person. You want to imprint that on your mind and writing it. And it's kinesthetic. You're hearing it, you're seeing, you're touching, you're feeling, you're using the paper, you're using the pen. You will remember. Then at the next meeting or the next time you have a conversation, you can go back and look at that note and say, oh yeah, the last time we talked, you went on a vacation, you went out of town for the week, and how was your trip? Stay engaged, stay connected. Don't start it, stop it, and walk away and then think that, I just created a great relationship. No, relationships always have to be nurtured, constantly nurtured. And then the second tip I would say is don't be afraid to ask for what you want. When the timing is, when it presents itself and somebody says, well, how can I help you? You want to be prepared to ask for what you want. Because if you don't ask for what you want, you'll never get what you want. So you want to say, you know what, my goal this year, we're ending in January now, so I've got 2 more months. My goal is to have 5 new clients. I haven't got one yet. So that's my goal. I'm going to get 5 new clients this month. Whatever the goal is, you want to be able to say, this is what I want. I believe that people in general want to help other people. However, we don't know how until that person guides us and tells us exactly what we can do to help them. So you want to ask for what you want. You want to believe that you deserve what you want. Okay. And then the third one is the faith of allowing it to happen. And that's basically the law of attraction right there. You ask for what you want, you know that you deserve it, you know that you're worthy of it, and that it's going to come to you. So if you have some goals, we're ending January now, you have some goals, you want to set those goals up. Like, I've set these goals for myself. What are your goals? How can I support you with your goals? That's the kind of conversation to be having right now. How can I support you with your goals? Like, what are the top 3 goals you want to get done? How can I help? And stop and write them down. Let the person know that you're genuinely interested in your caring. And then say, well, my 3 are this. Now, maybe you've created a buddy. How you doing with your goal? I need some help with this one. How did you handle that? Creating relationships. Networking is all about the opportunity to meet somebody and create a deep, meaningful relationship.
Awesome stuff. We have our first question of the day in the comments section. Here we go from Connor. People want to help other people. 100%, Joy. How can we let people know how they can help us?
Well, first of all, we have to know what it is that we provide. So how can we let people know how they can help us? Is by saying, so for me, because I'm a coach, I'll say, do you know anybody who's stuck? Like they want something different in their life, or they're not happy with their career, or they're not happy with this or that, or they want something they don't have yet. That's the kind of person I'm looking for. If you know anybody like that, please let me know. I offer complimentary coaching sessions. You have to let the person know. My ideal client. What is your ideal client? What's their profile? Who? And if you don't know, this is a great opportunity. Take the time to sit down and ask yourself, who is my ideal client? Who is the person that will buy my product, buy the service that I'm offering, has the resources, the time to do what it is I'm offering, that can afford it? Okay, where are those people? So when you know that, then when somebody says, how can I support you? Oh, well, my ideal client is this. So you have to know what it is you want so you can articulate it back. And then you want to make sure you're asking the question, now, how can I support you? What is it you want? Okay, let me get that information down. Let me see. I'm going to work on that for you.
And something key there that I don't even know if you realize is that when you frame it that way, it still seems that you're helping them. Do you know
Exactly.
anyone that's stuck? Are they stuck? You're helping them. It's still, you're still framed that you're helping them, not, oh, give me more clients. Oh, get me
Mhm.
more referrals. Well, do you know
Mhm.
anyone who's stuck? You're still
Exactly.
helping them. It's still in that, like, you're not like asking or begging or begging for them to take your business card. It's more like, oh, well, I can help your friends who are stuck.
Exactly. I'll say sometimes, you know, I offer business coaching. Business coaching is for that small business owner who's so busy being in the business that they haven't had an opportunity to step back, see if they're on track with their goals. Do they have work-life balance? Are they so focused in their business that they've ignored the family? And so now the family's at risk. What's going on? Do they have a strategy? Are all the employees in alignment? Does everybody know what the goal is for the year, and everybody's on board? Everybody's, in Las Vegas, we say we're all in, so the whole team involved in getting achieved goals. Does everybody in your mission statement? Things like that. So a business owner that's struggling, to grow their business, but they're so busy in the business, they don't have an opportunity to kind of take a look at where they are and where they want to get to. That would be a way of planning. Then conversation, so I say, I have a friend that you that person exactly. Great. I'd love to meet them. Tell them to give me a call. Session. You have to educate the people. We don't go on assumptions of the nature of our business or what it is that we have to offer. We have a fat guy in our LeTip, and he's got 3 tech key gadgets. One of them is called Ting, T-I-N-G. The thing is so amazing. You can look at your cell phone and see if there's any water leaking out of your house, and you could be, 3,000 miles away from your home. It's like so amazing. Well, when I think of a plumber, I think of like, okay, the toilet isn't working, or the valve in the sink won't turn off. But there's so much more now with technology that plumbers, electricians, and so forth can offer. But if they don't tell us, they don't explain it to us, what's available to us, we don't know. So you have to be prepared. What is it that you do? What are the services that you offer? And either it will apply to the person you're talking to, or it'll trigger something in their head and they'll go like, oh yeah, okay, my sister's having a problem right now. I'm going to have her give you a call. Okay. That's how you open the doors, always looking for the doors, opening the doors.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Once again, guys, we are live. So if you have a question, comment, or concern for Coach Joy, please put it in the comment section and we'll answer it live with you today. These have been great, Coach. What any other ones you want to double back on or go more into detail? I mean, we kind of summed it up. We kind of gave you guys a lot of stuff. So definitely rewatch this video so you can let it soak in, take some notes. But last chance here, if you want to ask a question to Coach Joy, put a question, comment, or concern in the comment section, and we'll answer it live. Any other tips or anything you want to talk about, Coach Joy?
I think I always go back and I land on the greatest asset you have is yourself. And if you don't see yourself as an asset, then maybe we need to have a conversation. Give me a call and I'll help you with that. You want to know your own value, your own self-worth, and you want to love, accept. I have a dog, and I love my little dog. He's a little Yorkie. And when Wolf, greets me, there's unconditional love. Okay. I could leave him in a crate because I'm off to a meeting and he might be in that crate for, 3 hours. And I come home and he's just so happy to see me. Okay. You want to have that same kind of love and that awesome affection for the person in your mirror. That's how you want to see yourself. You want to become really authentic that way. And what will happen is you're going to show up that way. And I will tell you, you will become a people magnet. You will not have a problem with networking. People want to meet you, be around you.
Awesome. Great stuff. Tons of wonderful tips. Definitely watch this over again. And if you would like to get in contact with Coach Joy, here is her email address. right there. Joy at joyandassociates.com, right? That's the right one.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And, it all starts with a conversation. And the first conversation is on me. So it's all complimentary. I guarantee you, anybody that I talk to, whether you hire me or not, you're going to walk away. You're going to leave with three things that you can implement to help yourself right away. And you're going to feel good about who you are, where you are, and you'll have a better understanding of where you want to go.
Awesome. Great stuff. And after you email Coach Joy, don't forget to check out the Communicare. She is our featured member of the month. And there's the cover right there. So don't forget to check out your Communicare. They get sent to your email address. So check the spam folder. If you didn't even know Communicare existed, they're going to your emails once a month. And Coach Joy was our featured member of the month, giving us a lot of great stuff. And check out the last interview where we go into detail about what she does and then the networking tips today. So great stuff. Thank you so much, Joy, for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Take care.
Awesome. Great stuff, guys. So thank you for watching LeTip Live, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.